All right, welcome everyone. Good evening, good night to all who are watching, whatever time zone you're in. Welcome to Nighttime Astro Live. I'm your host, Shannon Lemaire. I'm the owner and operator of Lunar Ladies and the Lunar Ladies Lifestyle Group. Welcome to all our new community members. And I just have to say, I just loved how everybody joined in and gave such amazing, loving, helpful, awesome, powerful, sage advice for Adriana. And I hope you're feeling better. And forgive me if I didn't pronounce your name right. Sorry. I'm going on my memory, which is a little bit, I don't know. But I really hope you're feeling better, and I really appreciate that you posted in the group asking for love and support, and I just love how the community responded. So I just want to invite others, if you're feeling this way, you can, you're welcome to make a post, especially when it's happening during an astrological event, because we do, like Irma K says, we have cosmic weather and we get affected by it. So I love when you reach out and be brave and courageous, make a post, because then it activates a lot of our community members who have amazing gift, skills, and talents to see your post and share from their place of wisdom and grace from their heart to offer whatever assistance they can to help that person feel better. So I just love seeing that. It just lifts me up. It's like why I wanted to do this. You know, community isn't one person, it's a group gathered together with a like heart and a like mind. And then we play, we help, we support, we join forces, we do good things with a single pointed vision of helping humanity live better, love more, laugh more. So there we go. And of course, when we have these big astrological events, it take us down. That's why it takes a village. Hi, Lisa. Welcome. So nice to have you here. Hi, Lily. Oh, how's your fam? Hope everybody's doing well. So nice to see both of you here. And thanks for joining in the live. We're going to be talking tonight about Mars conjunct Chiron, the healer, the medicine, the wounded healer who bears the medicine for our souls. So Chiron is currently moving through the sign of Aries, and he takes a long time. Let me tell you, go through Aries, about 8 years. So, you know, he's an asteroid in the asteroid belt, and he's named after Chiron, who's the centaur who's known as the Rainbow Warrior Healer. Oh, aloha, lady! Wow, all the peeps coming together tonight. How are you, beautiful? I hope you're doing well and enjoying life. Thank you so much for everyone for being here. Oh, I'm so happy, right, Lily? And you're on the East Coast, so you're going to go into the dreamland with all this soul wisdom. Lisa asked, does this mean now is power time for healing? Yes, yes, yes. Let's start right there with that question. Perfect question, Lisa. Yes, because when we think of healing through the signs, right, and that's what Chiron does as he moves through the zodiac, meaning moving from sign to sign around the wheel, he brings that healing medicine to those signs. So when you look at your natal chart, you'll look to see where was Chiron when you were born? Like what sign was he moving through? Right. So if you were like me, born like within 8 years, you know, I have a Chiron in Aries. And so I'm kind of at the beginning of when Chiron first went into Aries. And then he kind of left, I think around 1976, because when he was discovered in 1977 and named after the great healer, the Rainbow Warrior Healer, he was in the sign of Taurus. His Sabian symbol, his discovery, you know, when they discovered that asteroid and they named it astronomically, they do a chart. It's called Discovery Chart. And he was discovered or born at 4 degrees Taurus, which is a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So I just love looking at the discovery charts of, of scientifically discovered astronomical bodies, because they give this whole mythological story that really captures their essence. So Chiron is the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. So that's why he's the rainbow warrior healer. He brings what your soul needs. Now, Lisa asks, is this a powerful time for healing? And I want to say yes, because of the sign of Aries. Aries is about you, your I am presence, your physical body, your blood, right? That's what Aries rules in the zodiac and in the chart, the first house. Our physical embodiment, when the soul comes into physical form and emerges out of the birth canal, that's the Aries energy, right? So Chiron is in that soul taking form and emerging out of the cosmic womb. So that is what we're healing as Chiron makes his way through Aries, and he's only halfway through. 15 degrees is the halfway mark. So we have about 4 more years of Chiron and Aries, which in a lot of ways we're like, whew, thank goodness, lots of time to do our soul in physical form healing, our emerging kind of healing, our rising out of the cosmic ocean as an individual soul. So Aries heals your individuality, heals your divine, magical, I am fiery soul presence. And in the lower form, or maybe in the wounded form, it becomes our ego, or the personality that's separated from source, and it's, lonely and afraid. Right? What's that reality show, Naked and Afraid? I'm like, that is so Chiron and Aries in the shadow. Like, I'm naked, I'm afraid. I'm like, that is so shadow Aries. Who dreamed of that show? I have never watched it, but the title is enough for me. So if you watch Naked and Afraid, let me know what you think. So it's a powerful time for healing, because we're healing, like in its essence, the literal embodiment of our soul in the material world. And really, kind of in a lot of ways, it's like the purpose of this particular third dimensional planet. Now, I got turned on to this book from Kelly Michelle. So shout out to Kelly Michelle Garlow. She's like, Shannon, have you heard of the Celtic chakras? And this was like maybe a couple years ago. I have to text her and ask. And so I finally got the book, and I was reading it, and I was like, oh my God, this is blowing my mind. So it's a whole different chakra system, the way it moves and energy moves. But one of the things that I have come across so far in the book is that the underworld in the Celtic view of reality, and this is going way back, thousands and thousands BC, is that the underworld is the place of forgetting. And so I'm reading that, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. When we come to Earth, we forget who we are. I'm like, is Earth the underworld? And it kind of makes sense with Chiron moving through Aries. Yes, if we're healing that soul embodiment, like the soul coming into the third dimensional world of forgetfulness, right? Which the Celts said, well, that's the underworld. And I was like, oh, yeah, no wonder we come here to kind of heal through the underworld experience. So in some ways, we can look at our current Earth reality. And some believe that the third dimensional Earth is the lower form of the fifth dimensional or fourth dimensional Tara. That's the fifth dimensional Tara, which is like unconditional love, and everybody's getting together, and we're all on the web of life, and everything's cool. And then the seventh dimension is Gaia, which is more the Garden of Eden and the paradise energy. So if we go from the Garden of Eden, and through the Bible, they say, oh, well, got kicked out of the Garden of Eden, fell dimension, maybe more in that fifth dimensional space, coming and learning to live in harmony, and then we fell again to the third dimension. So long story short, I was like, if the Celts are calling the underworld the place of where we forget, and I'm like, wow, we're in the earth and we come in with amnesia, right? We don't remember past lives. We don't remember who we are as a soul. We forget that we're souls having a temporary human experience, and we think we're humans in the land of kind of this devoid of spirit, lost energy that it's wounded and it needs healing. Then yeah, I think it is the underworld. But then I think, well, gosh, we've got a lot of power in the underworld where we could actually make the underworld livable, right? And we can actually find love. We can become light. We can emerge and create our own sovereign space with like-hearted, like-minded people, and we can get along and then grow from there. And I'm like, wow, we're super powerful in the underworld in a lot of ways, especially when we take back our individual spirit or soul energy and empower our lives by owning our emotions, owning the way we're thinking, the way we're behaving. Like when we start coming online and in line and aligned with the harmony of soul, spirit, God, universe, love, light, joy. I'm like, oh, maybe that's the rainbow bridge out of the underworld. And that's the gift of Chiron. He is the rainbow bridge. So those of you who aren't familiar with Chiron, he has 3 levels. So the first level, and this is according to the Greek myths, which we apply to this movement of this astronomical body that we're calling Chiron, because that's what our psyche is going to remember. Right, our soul that's been embodied many times in this underworld space, because we're shifting it and bringing the vibration up. So at least we get back to 5th dimensional Tara, and then we're in 5th dimensional Tara all together. And then we'll boop pop right into the Garden of Eden 7D Gaia. Hope that makes sense. So the first incarnation of Chiron is the one who's neglected and abandoned. So when the story of Chiron is, he was the first centaur, half man, half horse. And when he's the son of a god, and the mother was mortal, and the mother gives birth to this half man, half horse, and just freaks out and shuns him. So that's the first wound. Hi, Nancy, welcome. Thanks for your post. We're excited to come to your masterclass. Teach us what you know. I love it. So excited to learn more. So if you want to learn how to be successful in a spiritual-based business, go sign up for Nancy Cooper's free masterclass. She is a living symbol of being very successful with her vision and her dream, and helping a lot of people along the way, which is beautiful. Okay, so the first wound of Chiron is abandonment, shunned, rejected, right? The mother rejects the child, first wound. So some of us may have experienced something very much like that early in life. So then Chiron is, left out in the forest as a baby, rejected and shunned, has to learn to survive. So his first medicine to that first wound is self-love. So when we follow the Chironic path, when we apply self-love, like if nobody loves us, I can love you, right? So that's the first healing of Chiron, self-love. Second healing becomes, okay, so Chiron had to survive. He had to love himself so that he could survive. And then along the way, he learned so much from the self-love, and he's healed from his first wound of abandonment and rejection. And then he starts learning the medicine, right? And he becomes the teacher. So that's the next Chironic, and Nancy just so beautifully shared. Yes, we need our gifts there to heal the collective. So that's the second incarnation of Chiron, is now that you've healed that primal wound of rejection and abandonment, you become the teacher, right? So now you're out sharing your gifts to heal the collective, and you're teaching your wisdom that you've learned from your own journey of self-love, right? So that's the second incarnation of Chiron, right? And so that's in his myth. That's what he did. You know, people came to him and were like, how did you heal yourself? You're vibrant now and you're healing other people. Teach me. And so he teaches the way of self-love, right? And that becomes his gift and to heal the collective. Lisa shares, I'm learning so much through self-love, healing myself. Yay, Lisa, everybody give Lisa lots of love and clap claps. Yes, that is one of the main purposes for being here. Learning to so much through self-love. And when you do self-love, you're gonna have self-awareness and knowledge of who you are. And then you become actualized and realized. So that's the next journey. That's where Chiron is as a teacher. He becomes self-realized through self-love. So now he's out there teaching and sharing his wisdom and teaching others, you know, giving gifts in the collective, self-realized. So then he's doing that for a while. And then we come across Prometheus. And Prometheus was the god who angered the gods because he gave humans fire. But here we are, Chiron and Aries, fire, cardinal fire, starting new cycles. So this Chiron and Aries is starting a new cycle around our soul embodiment in this world. And so, so he sees Prometheus, who got in big trouble, and his punishment was to be chained to a rock, and the eagle, which is synonymous with Scorpio. The eagle comes and pecks out his liver every day, but he's an immortal. So he heals at night and has to go through it again. You know, so he gets his liver pecked out and it's painful and excruciating. And he's there for eternity because he pissed off the gods by giving humans fire, by giving them light and power and heat and to make things and change things. So then Chiron sees this and he's moved. Oh, he cannot bear to have this excruciating thing happen every day, right? And so so Chiron being half mortal, he can die. Oh, great question, Nancy. Why the liver? I love this. Yes, so the liver is very powerful. This comes into my knowledge of sound healing, traditional Chinese medicine. The liver, according to traditional Chinese medicine, is the general in the body, meaning the liver is in charge. So the significance of the liver is that Scorpio is, you know, the eagle, Scorpio is saying, you know, the transform energy says, I got to come and I'm going to pick out the general, meaning the one who's in charge, the organ that's in charge of this, of keeping like this body intact, alive and healthy, because the liver does so many functions in the body. And, you know, it breaks down the fats, it creates the bile. You've got to keep the liver happy. Thich Nhat Hanh talked a lot about, you know, he taught a lot about the smiling liver, because when the liver organ goes out of balance, because remember, it's a general, it has a lot of work to do. It's keeping this body, this army, you know, this warrior healthy. And if the liver gets attacked, it weakens and it gets pissed off. So, you know, you've got liver imbalance, like the liver chi, right? A force field that's imbalanced when you are enraged, anger. And in traditional Chinese medicine, liver and the gallbladder, liver is the yin meridian, gallbladder is its partner, the yang, so yin and yang for balance. Frustration. So gallbladder, meridian chi, when it's out of balance, it's frustrated. And it's usually frustrated because the liver is being annoyed and it's pissed off because the liver is a general, the gallbladder chi is the sergeant. He takes orders from the liver, right? And then henceforth, we've got good, healthy chi. So like to detoxify the organ charged with processing trauma out of the body. Yes, Nancy, great. So astute. And happy birthday, by the way. You and Carly, happy belated birthday. Hope you both had lots of fun on your Gemini birthdays. Yes, because, yeah, so the body, as the liver, has a lot of things to do, and it does not want to be bothered with things, but giving it more work. So, you know, when we look at even consuming alcohol, and it destroys the liver. If you know, alcoholism, cirrhosis, hardening of the liver, like very bad for the liver. So when Nancy says detoxify, yes, that's when the liver's like, I like help, please. So the liver loves like the deep greens, the plants, the wheatgrass, the kale, the spirulina, all those deep green energies, milk thistle, you know, those are the things you would do for a liver detox. So detoxing, doing a liver detox in the spring, very good, because liver and gallbladder are a wood element, which is connected to spring season. Now, in the fall, we also do a detox, but that's when you want to do more of a kidney bladder detox, because those are more fall element type of, or actually it's lung, large intestine. And, but I don't know, I like the kidneys in the fall because it's Libra, and that Libra rules the kidneys. Cruciferous vegetables, yes, your broccoli, your Brussels sprouts, and the liver likes green energy. Wear green, eat green, your salads, your smoothies, green, green, green. The Chinese medicine, oh, me too, love it too. Oh, such wisdom. Yeah, so when we get to you know, Nancy's question, why the liver? I think that in the mythology of Chiron, it's pecking out the general, meaning it's taking your power away to be in the body. So when Chiron sees this happening to Prometheus, and he realized, you know, Prometheus did this to himself, but with good intentions, right? He really wanted, he was trying to help humanity. He wasn't trying to hurt the gods, but the gods, you know, according to the beliefs and all that stuff. So what Chiron does, celery juice, yes. Hi, Teresa, welcome, beautiful. Talking Chiron. So remember, Chiron's half mortal. He had a mortal mom and a mortal dad. And so he can die. Right? Keep that in mind. He can die. Prometheus can't die. He's immortal. And now he's in excruciating pain. And Chiron, empathy is the third incarnation of Chiron. So abandoned and rejected, healed through self-love. Gained knowledge through self-love, became a teacher, and gave his gifts to the collective. Now he's moving through his life. This other event happens with Prometheus, chained to the rock. The eagle comes, peck out his liver, heals overnight, happens again as punishment. First doing what? Stealing fire, spirit from the gods, and giving it to humanity, like giving humanity their God self. So Chiron says, hey gods, I can't take it anymore. Hi, Yvette, welcome. Yes, core wounding. Ouch. Say that again, right? So we want to take care of our livers. Prometheus and Chiron remind us how important the liver is. So say, you know, especially over the pandemic time of the 2020, a lot of people were staying home and they were drinking. Overconsumption of alcohol. They didn't have to drive anywhere, right? They were maybe a little bit bored and wanted to just treat themselves like a comfort. And then we got a little bit out of control with the alcohol. And so the liver is sitting there going, oh, when is this pandemic thing going to be over? I need my health back, right? So if you just, you know, check in, like, you know, check your liver's on your right side, right under the ribs, nice big organ there, and just say, hi, liver, how are you? Do you need me to give you more attention? And sometimes you might get some pain in there. You know, we've got the liver meridian running through there, but when, also to the traditional Chinese medicine, you know, we have the body clock. There's 12 meridians in the body. They each get 2 hours to be, getting all the life force chi for healing. So we have good, long lives, healthy, everything's in balance. So between 1 a.m. and 3 a.m. is the time of the liver. And it's kind of like the last meridian to get all the chi. Now, if you wake up at 3 a.m., are you one of those people that wake up between 3 and 3:30 or 3 and 4? That's usually a signal that the longest leap that the meridians have to take, they're usually pretty close together in the body. When one meridian ends, the next one picks up and they move along like a nice system of rivers, right? But the end of the liver is right under the rib, and it has to come up here to, I call them the overalls, the pocket right here. That's liver, lung 1. And this is the start of a new day. But look how far it has to jump. Normally it's like, a finger width, or, let's see, stomach comes from large intestine. It's usually like that much. But this is a lot, just like that much. So it's the ending of a cycle or ending of a day. It has to cross the river Styx and be reborn at 3 a.m. So if you wake up around, between that time of the changing or the transformation, usually there's some blocks. So you want to check in. Nancy says, I'm in the 2 o'clock hour that I wake up. Okay, so 2 o'clock, that is liver time. Your liver's talking, right? So if you wake up and you look at the clock and you're like, whoa, 2 a.m., just say hi to your liver and go, do you have any messages for me? And just wait and listen, or in your mind, and just ask, why are you waking me up? Now between, on the foot, between the big toe and the second toe, there's a V. That's the liver 3, that's a detox point. So if you wake up, Nancy, at 2 a.m. and you can just gently massage that point between your big toe and your second toe and that V there. This is on your foot. Just massage it, give it a little love, and you might go back to sleep because it might be waking you up because there's like a block. But that's okay. If you have that, don't worry. It just means like, oh, I need, I gotta check in. Yeah. So Tim wakes up between the shaman hour. Your Tim, who's so powerful. Right. So also, if you deal with a lot of inner rage or anger, frustration, that will also wake you up around those times. Yes, our bodies are amazing. So you can give Tim some 3, 4. Okay, yeah. So he's in that in between. He's very powerful as a soul. So he might be getting awakened to do some clearing. But if you do some sound healing before he goes to bed, especially on the liver points and the lung points, that'll help him. So it's just kind of the soul gets a little caught between. It's almost what I'm getting is some souls kind of get caught between incarnations. So there might be a big part of Tim in another life didn't fully make the jump into this life. So sometimes, or early childhood wounding. It's hard to be in the body. So sometimes you get that little bit of a block there. And especially if you're a very powerful soul and you can handle your bandwidth for energy is big. So you want to clear and smooth and open, gentle. Hi, Sujata. Good morning. How are you? Thank you for joining. We're talking Chiron and Mars. So I'm just going to quickly finish up the Chiron story. It's already taken a little bit longer. So Chiron in this third incarnation, and remember, 3 times a charm. So he was abandoned and rejected, healed through self-love. Through self-love, he became self-actualized. And then he was able to give his gift to the collective. Everybody loved him, right? So then he got the collective love. And then he was walking along, and then he sees this event happening, and it tears at his heart. So his empathy was triggered. Could not bear this any longer. Prometheus, suffering. So he asked the gods, may I please take his place? Screams or wake, or, you know, I can't take it. So that's the third incarnation. And some call it like a self-sacrifice, but what Chiron's saying, if I can release this pain by being a bridge for others. So he was a bridge for Prometheus by offering himself because he could die. Prometheus couldn't die. So he becomes this bridge out of suffering. And then the gods were like, wow, you're amazing. And we're going to name the stars after you. So he's like the Centaur Sagittarius constellation as well. So that's the third incarnation. It becomes a rainbow bridge out of the underworld, right? Out of the world of suffering. So then through empathy. So we take that myth and we go, okay, where am I suffering? Okay, let me go through Chiron. You know, have I experienced rejection and abandonment? Do I need self-love? Okay, cool. Maybe that's a yes. Okay, great. I'm going to focus there. I'm going to learn about myself through loving myself, right? And it's okay. You journey through there, and then you develop this beautiful awareness of self. You love yourself. Others begin to love you because you start pulling that in. And then you can go, okay, where's my empathy going towards? Where can I be a rainbow bridge for others? How can I help lift humanity out of the underworld? Isn't that cool? I know, I love this stuff too. I mean, I eat this stuff for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. It's just so yummy. I'm like, let's bring back the mythologies for the world. They're way better than Netflix. But you know, some wonderful writers do, creates modern day stories based on these myths. So I'm always like trying to look for those, and I really applaud when writers do that. Make it so cool. It's timeless. Okay, so now we know the Chiron story, and going back to Lisa's question, is this a powerful time for healing? And yes, now you can see how powerful it is. So Mars, remember, Mars moves faster than Chiron because Chiron's further away from the sun, Mars is closer. But the asteroid belt between Jupiter and Saturn. So the asteroid belt is a place that we cross from the inner planets to the outer planets. And some believe, depending on who you talk to, that, what is the asteroid belt? Why is it there? Hi, Honey Bet. Welcome. Nice to have you here. Welcome. Talking Chiron. All right. So the asteroid belt, some believe that it was a planet. So I've been doing some research because I'm so fascinated by I want to remember the history. Like, I really want to know what happened. Right? So some believe that the asteroid belt was the planet Maldek. Now, Maldek is a third dimensional name for another dimension of this planet called Tiamat. So we have 3D Earth. So that asteroid belt is a planet that exploded, right? And it was called Maldek. But 5D Earth is Tara. 5D Maldek becomes Tiamat. So Tara and Tiamat were like twin planets. And so the asteroid is the remnants of this planet that used to be a twin to where we live today. So I think that's why the asteroids really affect us, because it's family, right? And it exploded from, who knows, like some type of cataclysm, right? That kind of, is buried in our soul's memories that was a trauma. So sometimes when we're here in the earth, and it could have knocked the earth into, that cataclysm could have knocked, remember, we're twin, could have knocked Tara, 5D Tara, into 3D Earth. That could have been how we fell, was through the explosion. I think that explosion, possibly the earth was not on a tilt. And the explosion rocked it, right? And it went on a tilt. That's what I'm wondering. I'm playing with that idea, tuning in, like, is that true? I'm writing a story about it, actually. So I'm having fun with the story and putting it into like fiction, but it's based on a lot of research. So yes, so Mars is the planet that rules the sign of Aries. So the ruler of the sign that Chiron is in is here, and it's coming together, activating and merging and becoming one. So this is, again, what Lisa said so perfectly. It is a very powerful Mars and Aries time of healing, Chiron and Aries coming together. So let's look at the chart and we get some more information. So I have some more insights for you to take into your dreamland. So I know it's getting late for some of you on the East Coast, and it's very early for some of you in India. Yay, India. Okay, so this happened at 7:17 a.m. this morning. I love it, June 15th, and it's 15 degrees. So we have a double, 15. So we want to ask ourselves, what is Mars healing? We know it now. We're like, oh, we're healing the actual soul's embodiment in this 3D earth world. Have we emerged as souls having a human experience? Or are we still locked into thinking we're just human and that's a broken, wounded space? Where are we on that spectrum? Full soul embodiment, happy to be here, giving gifts, on fire, yeah, let's go. Or are we on the other side of like, oh, I don't feel so good, and I feel scared, lost and afraid, naked and afraid. And wherever you are on the spectrum is perfect. So no judgment if we're here in the lost, alone, naked and afraid, or if we're over here going, hell yeah, bring it on, I'm ready. Wherever we are there, it's fine. Just locate. Where are you? Because when you find yourself on that spectrum, wherever you are, that's when you begin to apply the Chironic medicine, self-love, self-awareness, self-actualization, giving your gifts, becoming your rainbow bridge, helping us raise the frequency out of the underworld by remembering. Because I think when we remember, we get out of the underworld. Because what's the underworld? According to the Celts, the place of forgetting. So if we come to the place of forgetting and we start to remember, I think that means we're out of the underworld, or that the underworld ceases to exist, right? If we remember, then there is no place of forgetting. Okay, so here we are. Here's the sign of Chiron. It looks like a key, right? So keep that in mind. Chiron is a key to wellness, a key to healing. Right? So when you're looking at your own natal chart, find a K with the circle and look at it like your key for healing and wellness. And here's Mars, 15 degrees, and they were exact at 7:17 this morning. Okay, so, and this is according to where I live in Alameda, so that's in California on the Pacific time. So you could do this chart where you live based on your time zone. Okay. So what is Mars healing? We're healing this ability to be here in the world now. A soul taking human form, emerging at the great cosmic womb, on fire, a rainbow warrior of healing and grace and empathy and self-awareness, self-actualization, like ready to release all those Prometheuses on the rock, right? Let's do this. Mars is like, he's the energy that runs into the burning building, right? He runs in to rescue. He's on fire. The athlete, he's fearless, courageous, confident, kind of doesn't think, kind of just moves into action. So he's bringing this primal fire, like he's bringing the fire back to humanity, right? Which is kind of waking up that you are spirit. You are soul first, physical body second. When you merge them together, whoa, that's like Christ energy, or Avatar, Buddha, holy person, ascended master, the kind of energy. So this is where we're being guided and healed and helped. Now, when we look at the Sabian symbols, we talked about this on the full moon if you were there or you watched the replay. It's about acting as if you matter. And we don't even have to act. We now know we matter. Mars already knows he matters. He's like, it's all about me. Chiron's like, oh, I got to act like I matter because I'm wounded. But Mars is saying, oops, hang out with me. Oops, get rid of that. Hang out with me. And, I'll set you back on fire. I'll set you up right. So Chiron's like, whoa, thank you, Mars. You are my hero. And Mars is like, oh, thanks. I like being seen as the hero. That makes me happy. And we're like, yes, this is the one, the Olympic athlete that wins the gold medal. This is like numero uno, the horse that wins the race, right? Big. So I love that it's 50 degrees. And what that means, it's called the second decan of a sign, meaning it takes on the flavoring of the next fire sign. So we go around the wheel. What's the next fire sign? It's Leo. Leo. So this has a lot of Leo energy. That's why I was feeling like the Lion's Gate that happens in August on 8/8. But it begins the day at a time, the day after the day at a time, which is July 26th. And this is the time when the Egyptians celebrated a season. They had 3 seasons, and the first season, what they considered spring, was the flooding of the Nile, which brought the bounty, grew the food, made the light, the lushness. So this Leo energy is surrounding this Chironic Mars conjunction. And so we have the Sabian symbol is the fairies, meaning the winged ones. To me, that's more the angelic human race, the Fae, are dancing in the setting sun. So it's like Midsummer's Eve energy. Like the Fae are out and they're dancing, joy, as the sun sets in the west. Now the Leo, I like to go into the Leo at 15 because it's the second decan. So I'm like, ooh, what does Leo 15 degrees say? Just for fun to add into that. And Leo at 15 was sunrise just after a storm. Isn't that beautiful? So here we have the Fae, the angelic human race, dancing as the sun goes down, that midsummer's fun, joyful energy. And then Leo's bringing sunrise after a storm, meaning no more gray clouds, right? The sunlight breaks through. Storms are over. So keep that in mind, because Chiron is the storm energy, the wounding. But Leo says, guess what? It's over. The storm is past now. Let's rejoice. Like, how do you feel? Think back to a time when there was a huge storm, and when it's over and there's sunlight, you're like, wow, phew, feels so much better. Things get rejuvenated, right? And so Leo 15 is about storms are occasions to unclog our lives, to help us renew and feel revived. So this is the wisdom that sees the storm as a necessary component for renewal. Mars is coming to help Chiron be reborn, be renewed. And Leo says it's about joy, play, love, dancing, setting sun. So this summer, put on your calendars. I need to be dancing at sunset. Have some beach parties, have some lawn parties. Invite your friends and families over, take the kids out, put your favorite songs on when the sun goes down. It's like, let's celebrate sunset. It's a sacred time every day. When you get those golden lights and then the purple blue sky, it gets darker, the stars come out. I mean, it's a party every night. If we are not celebrating sunsets every day, what are we doing? So make it a point on your summer list. What do I need to do? I need to be dancing at sunset. Turn on the radio or the iPod. Go outside in your backyard or your front yard. Get the neighbors. Say, hey, guess what, neighbors? Friday a dance party, sunset from 7 to 8. Something. Who knows? I'm sure you'll get some takers. It was so cute during the pandemic, in 2020. We had neighbors behind us on, they're on the other street, but our backyards are together. And they were kind of new, and he was so nice. I always say, hi to him because he was like this older, a little bit, middle-aged guy. And he just moved onto the block, and he loved, I think he had like a little band or something. So he couldn't play his music, right? Because events were shut down. So he did block concerts. So he had people, and they came and they put, their chairs and the sidewalk, and he had his old microphone, and he was singing Beatles tunes and playing his guitar. And I'm like, dude, you are so right on. Look at you bringing joy to the neighborhood with your love of playing your music. And he wasn't half bad, but he made little cute flyers and put them on the telephone poles and passed them out. And I'm like, he's got the spirit. He got the right idea. So I always like to say hi to him because I just really appreciated that he did that, and it brought a lot of joy to people who were feeling afraid and not sure what was happening. Okay, so Leo says, look at these storms in your life and see them from a perspective that, wow, they're necessary to release energy or to unclog stuff, right? So allow that to come in with that awareness. Now, always when we have a powerful conjunction, I like to see what's happening in its polarity point, because that's the balance point. Because this is like intensity. So we got to balance it out with its opposite, its opposing force. And its opposing force is a boat landing washed away, meaning like there was a storm. There was a storm. So this is about, when we experience death, it's a freedom. We should allow ourselves time to surrender. We just have to surrender sometimes to intensities that are out of our control, realizing at the same time that these storms or these out of control times are coming to clear and cleanse us at some level. Now, 15 degrees Libra takes on the energy, it's a second decan, takes on the energy of Aquarius. So let's just have some fun and go, okay, well, what's 15 degrees Aquarius all about? And this is the energy of a business person at a desk. And it's so cute. We have Nancy that's like, hey, you want to learn how to be successful in your spiritual business? Come to my class. And I'm like, that's so cool. Nancy's the business person at the desk. So this is about learning accomplishments fail unless it involves a depth of your character that is not disturbed by gains or losses. So again, taking this information, looking at what we're healing, when we have hard times in our life, or either we're in it right now, or we've had big traumatic experiences earlier in our lives, they come to clear energy so that you can be revived and renewed. But Leo saying, the sun's coming, the elves are dancing, the fae are dancing, the sunrise after the storm. Yes, there was a storm. Yes, we can't be disturbed by wins and losses, right? We are the one, our depth of character is what's being built here, right? Isn't that cool? Yeah, so that's kind of how you start to play when you make a chart for any astrological event, right? And I think the best astrological event is the moment you were born. Isn't that like your main astrological event? What was happening in the heavens when you just decided to come into the world? That's an astrological event. That's my favorite astrological event, is when you were born. So that's our first chart. Then we start moving through and navigating this physical life, and we can create charts when we have events. So moon conjunct Chiron, meaning they come together, same degree in the sky. That's an event. And then we learn from these moments. there's so much wisdom that the stars are giving us that we can go, wow, thank you for this a moment in time and space in the fabric of reality. What can I bring into my world to grow, to be more aware, more healed, more moving forward, especially if I felt stuck for a while. Yes, our birth charts are amazing, right, Lily? Totally. Yeah, I swear, who needs, I always go back to my old saying of Netflix, like, if you can read charts, who needs Netflix? Like, these are just so interesting. They take a lifetime to really understand because there's so many layers, right? And here's Teresa. She's like loving the chart. It's noticing, a very, very astute Teresa. I love this. She's noticing that a lot of planets are at the top part of the chart. Isn't that cool? When you start to get into like the anatomy of a chart, this tells you a lot about this moment. It's about the upper world. It's about who you are out in the world, the externalized part. When we look at daytime, sunrise, noon at the top of the chart, sunset. So this is our day world. What are we doing in the day? That's what's getting healed. Our nighttime is kind of where we come in to really reflect upon what happened. So nighttime isn't like, oh, I'm going to pass out and wake up in the morning. No, nighttime's where we're getting all the rejuvenation and the healing. That's like, I really think it's important to take note. If you wake up during the night, look and find out what time it is, because the body will tell you that's a meridian that needs your attention, or a dream will tell you like, oh my God, what was that message? You can tune in and learn about yourself. Right, so Teresa is also noting that nearly nothing in the lower half, right? So this is, remember when I like to tell my clients, if you have empty houses, jump for joy. You don't got to work there. You don't have to do much. You could just go here and rest and relax, be creative, have some fun. So this Mars and Chiron energy is saying, yeah, your externalized self is busy right now with getting hit by all this astrological frequencies, but it's in the underworld or the inner world, the nighttime world, because as the sun passes sunset in the west, this is midnight down here until it gets reborn at sunrise. So you're getting all this space to just unwind it all and learn, right? So here we have the moon. Let's take a look at the moon. Now the moon is 10 degrees Capricorn, coming off of the heels of that full moon yesterday. That we talked about, the full moon, strawberry moon, super moon. Like, whew, I'm glad you're moving toward, I'm glad you're waning now. You're coming back in. So notice that the moon waning, meaning getting less light, getting darker, is in Capricorn, but it's in a red line. It's a square, a cardinal sign, Aries cardinal fire, Capricorn cardinal earth. So we have earth and fire coming together in a square, meaning although we have this intensity of a conjunction, now we have a square, meaning there's work to do. And the moon says it's happening. The biggest area of growth is going to be starting at the moon. And the moon is really interesting. That's your core self, right? So your innermost, how do I need to be bonded with, right? This is the newborn energy of how do I learn to be individualized because I was nourished at my core. Now this is saying moon in Capricorn is the energy was not nourished at the core, right? It was far away. This is neglect energy. And why do I say that? Because Capricorn is the opposite, the ruling sign of the moon, which is Cancer, mother, father energy, or, having a mother that was very distant, cold. And this also reminds me of the first incarnation of Chiron, rejection, abandonment. And Capricorn also is about, who are you as an adult post 28 years? How successful are you out in the world? How's that businessman doing at the desk? Meaning, how's that person dealing as an adult with success and loss? Does it hit our core wound itself and we can't function in society or as adults, or maybe function as best we could if we were full on Mars and Aries, like go-getter, right? Success. So this is about feeling, at the core, is there, abandonment or a rejection of self? Look at how you function as adult in your career, your job, looking at your adult self, right? Because this is all up here in the 10th house where we find this, in the chart for California. But when I looked at the Sabian symbol here, it was about a group, it was called a group of pheasants, meaning a group of ground birds. And the message was, don't follow the herd instinct because it will not lead to self-actualization. And I thought, isn't that interesting when we're trying to be self-realized with this Chiron-Mars conjunction? The square or the resistance or the power to build energy in the system to make a breakthrough and shift and change for your healing is saying that when you follow the herd, meaning like the sheeple or, maybe the government's telling me I should live like this and I just do it and I don't question. Don't do that. That's not going to help you in your self-actualization and healing space. You have more power than you realize. It's that poem. I think is it Nelson Mandela or Marianne Williamson? You are more powerful than you realize. Who are you not to be amazing, right? You are amazing. And so this is saying, do not follow the group or that's kind of sitting in a vibration of suffering. Don't do that. You're not going to find yourself in that right now. This is saying, go into who you are. You are that angelic human with wings, dancing, not suffering, but dancing in the midsummer's party, on the lawn, in the backyard, watching the sunset, watching the sky change colors, celebrating the stars coming out, seeing which one comes first. And what did we all do as kids? Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. May I have the wish I wish tonight. You can even say that. I mean, I kind of improvised a little bit on the words. What is it? Starlight, star bright, first star I see tonight. May I have the wish tonight. Something like that. Mamas, you got to tell me. I know I'm doesn't sound exactly right. That's why we get outside at sunset so we can find that first star and make a wish, right? And be dancing while we're wishing, because your wishes will come true. Okay, so interesting. Now I got one more thing I'd like to share before we go. This is kind of a little bit advanced astrology. The sun. When we look at this is happening in the sign of Aries. I like to look at, okay, Mars is the ruler, Chiron. Okay, now we kind of get this energy. Oh, thanks, Teresa. I wish I may, I wish I might, I wish this wish, I wish tonight. Boom. That's what we're doing this summer. Woohoo, woohoo. Because this is a 2.5-year cycle. Mars will not return to Aries for 2 years. He was last here in 2020. He will come back in 2024. So this is a 2-year cycle of wishing on those first stars you see. Let's do it. So the sun is the planet that's exalted in the sign of Aries. Oh, Nancy dancing at first. Yeah, maybe so. Nancy's leading the way. She's got a Chiron in Aries, or North Node in Aries. She got the Chiron in Gemini. Yeah, Nancy and I are both North Node in Aries. So we got it. That's our job. Our job is to get out there and do this. And then invite the others. So the sun is the planet that triumphs in Aries. Now, I talked about like when Venus is in Pisces, woo, she's the queen of heaven. But the sun's energy is really stoked in Aries fire. Okay, so then we go, okay, well, what's the sun doing? What is the sun up to? Well, the sun's at 24 degrees Gemini today. And he's in a beautiful air trine to Saturn retrograde. And Saturn retrogrades in review, ancient ruler of Aquarius, so old energy. We want to bring that back. So the sun is saying the true perception of beauty is a spiritual experience, right? Where do you experience beauty in your life? Right here, right now. You might look at your doggy and go, oh, doggy's so beautiful. You might look at your spouse and go, God, I really love my partner. You might look at your children and go, oh, just love my children. Or like Teresa, she might look at her son and go, love him. That's the experience of beauty. That's a spiritual experience. Or you may live in an area and you're like, God, I just love where I live. Or I love my couch. It doesn't matter, right? Or I love something. That is a spiritual experience. Now I'm bringing in the sun because tomorrow, let's see at what time, 6:41 a.m. tomorrow, Moon squares Neptune. And notice Neptune's busy. Got a sextile from the North Node. It's got a trine from the South Node. It's got a Pluto in a sextile. It's got a square to the sun. And what was happening on the full moon? Full moon and sun were square Neptune. So how you can work with the energy of illusion, that's Neptune and Pisces in the shadow, illusion. Because we can get into the illusion very quickly if we're following the herd, right? Let's get out of the herd, right? And what was it? I think there's a cute commercial on, and it's these guys driving and they pass by sheep, and there's one sheep that leaves and jumps in their car. They get home and they look back and they're like, oh my God, there's a sheep. And he becomes like their dog and they take him for walks. But the message was, don't be afraid to leave the herd. And I thought, oh, how apropos. Sun, for the moon square, this Chironic Mars chart. So the herd mentality is in the, being kind of drained or drawn down by this shadow energy of Neptune and Pisces. That's a spin doctor. So if you're like, okay, let's just hang on, everybody, time out. T-squares are time out. So the sun's going, wait a sec. When I tune into this Mars Chiron energy, I get exalted. And the sun is about, who are you in the world? Right? And we have that sunset energy coming off of the Chiron Mars conjunction, right? Dancing in the setting sun. So the sun is important. So the sun's saying, I'm squaring or building energy to make a change through the Maya, the illusion, the fog. And how you'll do that is look to the beauty in your life. That uplifts Neptune and Pisces, because Neptune and Pisces higher vibration is spiritual experiences. And the sun's saying, when you perceive beauty, remember, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It becomes your spiritual experience. So that's your homework. Your homework is to find the beauty in your life. Isn't that nice? Find the beauty in your life. That overrides Neptune and Pisces in the shadow, which is getting into the Maya, the fog, the illusion. Beauty, experiencing beauty, becomes your spiritual experience. Then it gives energy into the Chiron Mars conjunction, which is being, helped by this Capricorn moon that says, don't follow the herd instinct. You're not going to actualize yourself that way. And the whole point of this Mars Chiron conjunction, that's a 2-year cycle, is self-realization, self-actualization, self-love, because you matter. That's why we're all here. We matter, and we're here to raise us out of the underworld, rainbow bridges, rainbow warriors, into the 5th dimensional, 7th dimensional. I think when we get back to the 5th dimension, because the world's been there before, we're going to immediately pop into the 7th dimension, which is the Garden of Eden. Let's do it. But we get our wings back. We need our angelic human wings. So we can be dancing in the sunshine with each other. Okay, so Friday, I'm going to, is it this Friday? Oh, no, a week from Friday. So my birthday's coming, and I want to put a lot of my offerings on a massive, huge sale. So for those who have been like, oh, I would love to get that, but it's not, I can't afford it, or it's not working for me right now. It's okay, super sales coming. So Friday, I'm gonna do another live, say hi, and see what's up with the cosmos. But I wanna show you the courses that are on sale, how you can use them, and see if you resonate. And then they're gonna go on super sale over my birthday weekend. And then there's gonna be a regular sale the week after, until we get to the 4th of July. But I'm getting the pages and the pretty announcements ready, so they're not quite ready yet. But we're gonna look at the astrology course, because that will be really good for these nighttime astro lives and looking at your own chart. It gives you the foundation techniques. Like Teresa looked at that and went, they're all in the upper half. So the course says, what does that mean? And I break it down. I do a chart anatomy. It's really awesome. And that course is an on-demand course, but I'm going to be teaching that course probably in the fall or sooner. We'll see. So if you're like, oh, I want it now, get it on the super sale. And if you're like, no, I want to do it live, then we'll do it probably in the fall. But if I get it together, I might do it soon. So I just know that a live version of it will come. And I usually invite those who've taken or bought the on-demand course to come into the live, at a discount, right? You could take the live, because I usually I teach it live, and then we have some Q&A fun times that are just one-on-one together. Yay, right? And then you have the course forever. It's yours for life. So the natal chart astrology course, teaching the foundations to how to read these charts, read your own chart, read other people's charts, which makes it lots of fun. Your friends will love you for that. Because you'll be like, I know what that means. And then I'm going to have the tuning forks course on sale. And then I have my living with the moon course. So 3 courses on sale, and then I'll have reports on sale and whatever else I can think of. Business charts. Yes. Well, Lily, I think I want to teach a business astrology live course, Teresa, live, and then I'll make it on demand. But it's slightly different. But if you have this natal astrology down, then you're familiar with language and way, houses and planets and signs. Then the business one, we translate that into the houses, look at, become what they rule in your business. The planets become how you use planets as part of your planetary business staff. Okay? So, so the business astrology is slightly different, but it's you can apply it right away if you've got a good, strong foundational confidence and understanding with natal astrology in your own chart. I know, right? Let's do it. I've got all the information. I just have to basically, put the outline and then make pretty things. But I would love to teach it. I think it's so cool. I love business astrology. Yeah, so thank you for saying that. Thank you. Oh, hi, Janice. Welcome. Yes, I'm going to post a replay right now. So you can take the wisdom into your dreams, wake up refreshed and renewed. This chart is all about being renewed at nighttime in the astral. So we want to make sure that we you can recapitulate the day before you go to bed. So I'm going to leave with this real quick, just a couple minutes. A wonderful, and I learned this in my dream work course, a wonderful thing you can do before you go to bed. So kind of get in bed before you're ready to fall asleep. And then just review the day from the last thing you did. So like I get in bed at night and I go, okay, I wash my face, brush my teeth. Oh, when you watched the show, oh, I washed the dishes. Oh, I had made dinner. Oh, I fed the dog. Oh, speaking of that, oh no, I already fed her. I would be like, oh my God, she wants to kill me. I'd be like, where is she? Then you go into like, okay, what'd you do before that? Or then you get all the way to when you started your day and you opened your eyes. You let go of the day. So then you're clear, you're a clean slate to go and talk to your dream teachers, the stars, your inner world, and then you wake up with more clarity. So that's a nice thing you can do within this 2-year cycle. All right. Well, thank you everybody for joining. I'll be here on Friday. I'll go, I guess I'd go the same time. I'm just thinking y'all might be like out having fun. Yeah, I don't want to interrupt the dance parties that are happening at sunset. Maybe I'll go a little earlier, but I'll post it so you know ahead of time if you want to join that. But thank you for being here. Oh, I'm so glad, Kathy. I can't wait to be part of your Tiffany Yackel's celebration of life. Thank you for doing that. You and Irma, thank you, thank you. Kelly and I will go to the Alameda Beach and we'll bring our tools and we'll join in the fun. Yes, you're welcome. My pleasure. Thank you for being here. It makes it so fun to have all of you here. And I'm so happy that you enjoyed the information. And I'll make a YouTube link. So if you want to watch it on YouTube as well, then you can share it with your people that might be interested. Yay. And make sure you subscribe to my channel because I'll add other things on there that are not necessarily in here. So then you get notified when that's there too. All right. Have a wonderful evening, everyone. Thank you for joining the Mars and Chiron journey. They are so excited that we're all here, ready to go. Got all our notes, ready to join in the fun. Be those fairies dancing in the setting sun, like Janice was out in her flower garden. Good night. Bye for now.